If intelligent life exists in the universe, silence may be the only survival strategy. For more than 6 decades, since the beginning of the SETI program in 1960, humanity has been searching for signs of intelligent life in the cosmos. Radio signals, laser pulses, artificial patterns in the stars, anomalies that cannot be explained by nature. We call out to the cosmos, hoping someone will answer. But what if this hope is a fundamental mistake? What if the universe isn't empty, but silent on purpose? What if there's a reason why no one is transmitting? Before we begin, if you enjoy content about science, mysteries of the universe, and questions that challenge our understanding of reality, hit that like button now and subscribe to the channel, turning on notifications so you don't miss any videos. This really helps the channel grow and motivates me to bring you more content like this. Now, let's dive into something that might completely change your perspective on the search for extraterrestrial life. The Milky Way, our galaxy, contains between 200 and 400 billion stars. Recent studies suggest that virtually all of them have at least one planet in orbit. That means hundreds of billions of worlds in our galaxy alone. The Kepler Space Telescope, launched by NASA in 2009, confirmed the existence of thousands of exoplanets. Many of them are in what's called the habitable zone, the distance from their star, where liquid water can exist on the surface. Data from the Kepler telescope indicates that approximately 1 in 5 Sun-like stars has an Earth-sized planet in the habitable zone. This suggests billions of potentially habitable worlds in our galaxy alone. By all reasonable logic, considering the age of the universe, approximately 13.8 billion years, and the astronomical number of potentially habitable planets, intelligent life should be relatively common, and yet the universe remains in profound silence. No unequivocally detected artificial radio signals, no interstellar probes found, no undeniable evidence of another technological civilization. This apparent contradiction has a name: the Fermi Paradox. In 1950, during a casual lunch at Los Alamos National Laboratory, Italian physicist Enrico Fermi, a Nobel Prize winner, asked a question that would echo for decades. Where is everybody? The question arose in a conversation about flying saucers and interstellar travel. But Fermi's question was deeply serious. If the universe is so old and vast, and if life isn't exclusive to Earth, then advanced civilizations should have emerged long before us. Let's consider the numbers. Our galaxy is approximately 13 billion years old. Earth is about 4.5 billion years old. This means there are billions of years before our planet formed. Enough time for countless civilizations to have evolved, developed advanced technology, and begun exploring space. Some of these civilizations could be millions or even billions of years ahead of us technologically. With that much time, even traveling at a modest fraction of the speed of light, say 10% of light speed, a single civilization could have colonized the entire Milky Way in just a few million years. This calculation was formalized by various scientists. In 1975, Michael Hart published a paper arguing that if extraterrestrial civilizations existed and had the capacity for interstellar travel, they would have already colonized the galaxy. The absence of evidence of colonization suggests that such civilizations don't exist. So, why don't we see evidence of them? Why don't we detect their radio transmissions? Why don't we find their structures? Why don't we see signs of stellar scale engineering, like Dyson spheres or other theorized megastructures? Over the decades, scientists have proposed numerous solutions to the Fermi Paradox. Perhaps intelligent life is extraordinarily rare, the product of an improbable chain of events that only occurred here. This is known as the rare earth hypothesis, proposed by scientists Peter Ward and Donald Brownlee in their 2000 book. Perhaps technological civilizations tend to self-destruct before becoming interstellar, through nuclear wars, environmental collapse, pandemics, or other catastrophes. This is sometimes called the Great Filter. Perhaps interstellar travel is fundamentally impossible or impractical, limiting all civilizations to their home solar systems. Perhaps advanced civilizations simply lose interest in expansion and exploration, focusing on virtual realities, digital transcendence, or other activities that leave no detectable signals. But there's a much more disturbing explanation, one that doesn't assume we're alone, nor that space exploration is impossible. An explanation that suggests the silence isn't accidental, but deliberate. This idea is known as the dark forest hypothesis. It was popularized by Chinese science fiction author Liu Cixin in his trilogy, The Three-Body Problem, published between 2008 and 2010. While it's fiction, the hypothesis is based on logical principles from game theory and cosmic sociology. Imagine the universe as a dark, vast forest at night. Each civilization is a hunter, moving silently among the trees, weapon in hand, alert to every sound, every movement in the shadows. In this forest, no one knows how many other hunters exist. No one knows their exact locations. And, crucially, no one knows their true intentions. The hypothesis is based on two fundamental axioms proposed by Liu Cixin. First, survival is a primary need of every civilization. No matter how advanced, peaceful, or philosophical a species becomes, its continued existence must be the fundamental priority. This isn't selfishness. It's biology. It's evolution. It's the force that has shaped every form of life we know. Second, civilizations grow and expand continuously, but the total amount of matter and energy in the universe remains constant. This creates inevitable competition for finite resources over cosmic timescales. Now, add to this a critical problem. Communication between stellar civilizations is extremely difficult and inherently suspicious. The distances are vast. Even the nearest star is more than 4 light years away. Messages take years, decades, or centuries to travel. And even if you receive a message, how can you be certain of the sender's true intentions? In game theory, this creates what's called a chain of suspicion. You can't trust another civilization. Even if it seems friendly, you can't be absolutely certain. And it knows you can't be certain. And you know it knows. And so on, creating an infinite spiral of mistrust. Add to this another critical factor: technological explosion. Technological development isn't linear, it's exponential. A civilization that's centuries behind you today could, with a single fundamental technological breakthrough, artificial intelligence, molecular nanotechnology, unified field physics, completely surpass you in just 1 or 2 generations. In this scenario, revealing your position becomes extremely dangerous, because any civilization advanced enough to detect you might also be advanced enough to pose an existential threat to your survival. So, in the dark forest of the cosmos, the safest strategy, perhaps the only rational strategy, is clear. Remain in absolute silence. Hide in the shadows. And if you detect another civilization first, eliminate the potential threat before it can do the same to you, not out of malice, not out of cruelty or desire for domination, but out of pure, cold, calculated survival logic. From a cosmic perspective, this extreme caution is, in a way, perfectly rational. Consider Earth's history, when cultures with major technological differences encountered each other. The result was almost always disastrous for the less advanced civilization. The encounter between technologically superior Europeans and indigenous peoples of the Americas, the contact between industrialized nations and traditional societies in Africa, Asia, and Oceania. These encounters rarely ended in equality, partnership, or mutual benefit. They usually ended in conquest, exploitation, or extinction. Physicist Stephen Hawking, in interviews given in 2010 for the documentary series Into the Universe with Stephen Hawking, explicitly warned about the dangers of contact with extraterrestrial civilizations. He argued that any civilization capable of interstellar travel would be so technologically advanced compared to us that we would be like ants in comparison to them. Hawking suggested that, based on our own history as a species, such an encounter could end very badly for humanity. He compared the situation to what happened when Christopher Columbus arrived in the Americas. The encounter was not beneficial for the native peoples. The resources of the universe, while vast in absolute terms, are finite. Habitable planets are rare. They require very specific conditions. Heavy elements necessary for advanced technology, like rare earths, are limited in distribution. Usable energy, even from stellar sources, is precious. An exponentially expanding civilization will eventually compete for these scarce resources. And the technological difference between civilizations can be literally incomprehensible. Our own technological history clearly demonstrates this. In 1900, we had no airplanes. In 1969, We landed on the moon in just 70 years. That's less than a human lifetime. Now imagine a civilization just a few centuries ahead of us technologically. A blink of an eye in cosmic terms. They could have capabilities that would seem like magic to us. Manipulation of matter at the quantum level. Control of energy at stellar scales. Computing that defies our understanding. Weapons based on physics we haven't discovered yet. Now imagine a civilization 1 million years more advanced. Or 10 million. Or 100 million. The difference would be so absolute that we might not even recognize their actions as products of intelligence. They would be like forces of nature to us. And communication itself is an irreversible and permanent risk. Once you transmit a signal into space, it cannot be withdrawn, retrieved, or canceled. It travels forever, expanding in an ever-growing sphere at the speed of light, announcing your presence to any civilization listening on the right frequencies. Announcing our existence to the cosmos is like shouting your exact location in a forest full of unknown predators. You don't know who's there. You don't know how many there are. You don't know their capabilities. You don't know their intentions. But now they know exactly where you are. And that information cannot be undone. Humanity as a species has not remained silent. Since the beginning of the 20th century, we've been transmitting radio signals into space. Initially without conscious intent, just a natural leakage of our terrestrial communications, commercial radio broadcasts, analog television signals, high-power military radars. All these emissions escape Earth's atmosphere and travel through space at the speed of light, expanding in a growing sphere. This means there's now a sphere approximately 120 light years in radius around Earth, containing hundreds, perhaps thousands of star systems, where any civilization with sufficiently sensitive radio telescope technology could, in theory, detect evidence of human presence. But humanity has also sent deliberate and intentional messages to the cosmos, specifically designed to be detected and understood by extraterrestrial intelligences. On November 16, 1974, the Arecibo radio telescope in Puerto Rico transmitted a radio message directed at the globular cluster M13, located approximately 25,000 light years away. The Arecibo message, composed of 1,679 bits of information, contained data about the solar system, the structure of human DNA, a stylized human figure, and our location in the solar system. In 1977, NASA launched the Voyager 1 and 2 probes. Each carries a golden record, the Voyager Golden Record, containing sounds and images selected to portray the diversity of life and culture on Earth. It includes greetings in 55 languages, music from different cultures and eras, sounds of nature, and 116 images. Most importantly, it includes diagrams showing Earth's precise location relative to 14 pulsars, essentially a map to find our planet. These probes are now in interstellar space, traveling forever, carrying these messages to whoever might find them. In 2008, NASA transmitted the Beatles' song across the universe toward the star Polaris, located 431 light years away, as part of the agency's 50th anniversary celebrations and the song's 40th anniversary. Projects like METI, Messaging to Extraterrestrial Intelligence, continue sending deliberate and powerful messages to specific star systems. In 2017, the Breakthrough Message Project, funded by billionaire Yuri Milner, was established to create messages representing humanity and life on Earth. Some scientists argue that these transmissions are essentially harmless. They point out that our undirected radio emissions are relatively weak and difficult to detect at great cosmic distances, that the natural background noise of the universe drowns out most of our signals, that any civilization technologically capable of finding us and posing a threat would already have technology to detect us in other ways: spectral analysis of our atmosphere, detection of artificial nighttime light, heat signatures. They argue that remaining silent now is futile. We've been too noisy for too long. The secret, if it ever existed, has already been lost. Other scientists disagree profoundly and vehemently. They argue that we're making decisions on behalf of all humanity and potentially putting our entire species at existential risk, without adequate debate, without global democratic consensus, and without fully considering the potential consequences. In 2015, a group of scientists, including British astronomer Royal Martin Rees, published a statement calling for public and international debate before more intentional messages are sent into space. The most disturbing idea of the dark forest hypothesis isn't that the universe is empty of intelligent life. It's that it's absolutely full of it. Thousands, perhaps millions of civilizations, each one hidden in the cosmic shadows, watching, listening, calculating, waiting, all trapped in the same existential dilemma, aware that revealing themselves might mean immediate extinction. A galaxy where survival depends on remaining absolutely invisible, where silence is an absence of life, but survival strategy, where everyone is listening intently, but no one dares speak first. A universe where the first to transmit openly may be the first to die. If the dark forest hypothesis is correct, then every civilization that reached the stars, every species that developed radio, discovered nuclear physics, began exploring space, face exactly the same terrifying choice we face now. Announce yourself to the cosmos and risk everything, or stay silent and survive in darkness. And perhaps the great silence, the conspicuous and disturbing absence of extraterrestrial signals despite billions of years of cosmic history and billions of potentially habitable worlds, isn't a mystery to be solved. Perhaps it's a lesson written in the stars themselves, a warning left by the silence of countless civilizations that came before, a message encoded in the absence of messages. Stay quiet, hide, or perish. What if the reason we hear nothing isn't because no one exists, but because all who spoke have already been silenced? The dark forest hypothesis remains speculative. It's important to emphasize we have no concrete evidence that the universe works this way. Many scientists, philosophers, and thinkers convincingly argue that sufficiently advanced civilizations can develop sophisticated ethics, interstellar cooperation, and collective wisdom, not paranoia, violence, and preemptive extermination. Perhaps advanced intelligence naturally tends toward empathy and collaboration. Perhaps the universe is, in fact, a friendlier place than this dark hypothesis suggests. But the hypothesis forces us to confront profound and fundamental questions about our place in the cosmos, about the risks of announcing our presence, and about who has the right to make these decisions on behalf of our entire species. Perhaps the greatest mistake is automatically assuming the universe is friendly, that intelligence necessarily leads to universal benevolence, that other civilizations will inevitably share our specific values of cooperation, discovery, and peace. The complete history of life on Earth, billions of years of evolution, suggests a darker narrative. Relentless competition for resources, predation, mass extinctions, survival of the fittest, not the most moral. Why would we automatically assume that these fundamental laws of biology and evolution don't apply on a cosmic scale? And perhaps, just perhaps, the reason we hear absolutely nothing is exactly because those who spoke first, those who cheerfully and confidently transmitted their position to the stars, announcing their presence in the cosmos, are no longer here to answer our calls. Before we send another powerful message to the cosmos, before we shout even louder into the dark and unknown forest, we must ask ourselves some fundamental and perhaps uncomfortable questions. Are we really ready to be found? Do we have the necessary technological and ethical maturity? Do we have the moral right to make this irreversible decision on behalf of all humanity and all future generations who will inherit the consequences? What if the profound and absolute silence of the universe is itself an answer, the most important answer we could receive? Perhaps in the dark forest of the cosmos, true wisdom doesn't lie in speaking first, but in learning to listen carefully and think carefully before responding. What about you? What do you think about the dark forest hypothesis? Should we continue sending messages to space or remain silent? Leave your opinion in the comments. I want to know what you think about this. If you're not subscribed to the channel yet, now is the perfect time. Click the subscribe button and turn on notifications to get notified of new videos. And if this video made you think, leave your like. It really helps the channel grow and reach more people interested in science and mysteries of the universe. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. And remember, sometimes silence speaks louder than any words.